All right, we're live. We're right in front of the camera.
Yep.
This is awesome. Well, welcome, guys. It's your turn. Today we're excited to do a full walkthrough of Everdell by Starling Games, designed by James A. Wilson. So you've probably heard about this game because of its magnificent tree. It's got a gimmicky tree, which is still really awesome.
Yes.
That some say detracts from gameplay, and while that is probably true, it's probably more. The game is a little more challenging because there's information here on this tree that if you were sitting on the other side of the table, you would not be able to see. But it is still a really nice centerpiece. It looks really great. Do we have a good shot of the tree?
Yeah, let me go to the gameplay real quick.
For the whole full video?
There's a full,
so the
full
tree,
everything.
The tree actually comes up. I mean, we're a good like 8-9 inches above the game board, which is great. So the cards, I'm going to keep on that. The cards that you draw from are stored here, okay, inside the tree. You have 4 what are called special goals listed around the tree. And then I know you can't see it from the angle you're doing, but there's actually a guide here for the seasons and how you obtain these workers up here. It's pretty cool. But most of the game is played right down here. And with that, let's get to the teach.
All right. Go ahead.
So Everdell is a victory point game. Of course, that's a worker placement where you have little workers. And tableau builder, set collection. It's mostly a card game for the most part with some worker placement elements to it. So the primary source of all your points are going to come from these cards. Players have a hand of cards, but they also have access to an area called the meadow where they can play cards from as well. Cards have a couple features to note that are important for scoring. They'll have points that are worth here, but also based on how they're combined, you can actually make more points from them. So during the game, you're going to be taking opportunities to place your workers on the worker-defined spaces. Now, since we're only playing 2 players, the extra space on each of these cards will not be open to us. It's a 4-player only. And it's just like other worker placement games. Once a spot's taken, that belongs to the player who took it until their workers retrieved through. I'm going to mention a very interesting method, but we'll get to that in a moment. There's also other methods of getting points are these goal cards here. So if I'm able to meet the conditions on this goal card, for instance, this one says have a judge and a queen card, which is a card that's in the deck. Then I can take this and gain victory points from it, and it's exclusively mine when I take it. Okay. Finally, there's some other goals down here that are hidden from the camera. They're actually under the tree. Okay. Now these have to do with set collection specifically. So every card has a type, and there's a set goal for each type of card that exists in the game, with the exception of the victory point cards, which would just be broken to have a set collection on the victory point cards. So great. So the course of the game will go like this. We have our hand of cards. We're going to take turns either placing a worker on a worker action space, or playing a card from our hand, or playing a card from the meadow. Once all of our workers are played, we're allowed to take a new kind of action called Prepare for Season. Now, Prepare for Season is kind of like ending your round in other worker placement games, except in this game, play is continuous. So when I end my season, not only do I get to get all my workers back that are currently on the board and they go back into my tableau, freeing up the spaces for the other players, but I also get to collect my new worker that's off the tree for the next round, and I get any special bonuses based on the season. So there's a spring bonus, a summer, and an autumn bonus. There's basically 4 seasons we're going to play over. And so on my next turn, I begin again getting to place my workers or play cards. It's a very straightforward, very simple to learn game, and I think it's going to be easy to play for us today. The real detail is going to be in the card play. So let's go ahead and jump to that on the detail camera over here. So right now you should be able to see nice Everdell. And I'm going to just ask a question. Can you guys see that just fine right there? Okay, great. So this is the storehouse card. It's one of many cards that are going to be in your hand. In fact, me being first player, I started with 5 cards in my hand, and Marco's going to start with 6. So just to show you, cards have a cost on the side. The resources involved are twigs, resin, stone, and berries, which are all present resources on the board, which we'll get to how we collect those in a moment. Just going through the cards. The cards have a type. This is a gathering type card. Again, there's a set collection element to having these. It has a name. Something else to consider right here, it's very hard to read, but it says common construction. There's constructions and there's critters. Those are the 2 types of cards in the game. They can be common or unique. Unique cards are, you can only have one of them in your tableau. Commons, you can have as many as you want. You see the victory points that are over here on the side, the big 2. And then finally, they have an effect, okay? So based on the type of card it is, we'll determine when and how often that effect triggers. For instance, I started with this one because it's one of the cards that has the harvest symbol on it. So when you play this card, not only do you get the effect, but every season that the harvest symbol shows up, which is basically spring and autumn, you get this effect once again. So what this effect does is it says place either, let's see here. It says reading this right here. You immediately place these resources on the card. When you put a worker there, because it has a worker space that's always identified by the paw, you can take the resources that are there. One more thing that's important is down here. This is kind of cool, very Seven Wonders-ish. It has right here a woodworker. I think it's a woodworker. It's a wood carver and a little symbol. What this means is that if you have the storehouse and you get a woodworker or a wood carver, you can play the wood carver for free by placing on your card an occupied token. That basically lets you play the wood carver. We had the card in play, and I don't think that's out here to show, but you wouldn't have to pay its berry cost, which is what you use for critters, but you could play it for free. Now notice that once you put an occupied token on it, it's always occupied. And therefore, even if you had multiple wood carvers, you could only occupy this storehouse with one of them. So that's a general rundown of how the card layouts work. Let me show you a few more cards to use some examples. Here's a chip sweep. Similar effect, he costs 3 berries. Now you'll notice in the upper left-hand corner, because he's a critter, he has a building he's associated with. And his building is the resin refinery. So if I had a resin refinery, like this storehouse, I could occupy it and not have to pay his cost. Okay? Again, similarly, he has an effect. He's a common critter, and he's worth 2 victory points. There's another type of card in the game. Let's show this one really quick. Post office. It has a little, it's a different type of card. I can't remember what it is. It's like a, I don't exactly know what the symbol means, but it's a little red paw. This is a common construction. It costs 2 resin and one twig. But the big thing is it has an action space on it that you can take, just like the other one did. However, this one has a tiny little text here that says open and 1 coin. Open means either I or my opponents can actually, if once this has been played, take this action to get this effect. If somebody other than me uses it, I get a coin from the bank, not from them, but from the bank, a victory point basically. And this, of course, has its own little thing. It can play a postal pigeon, can be played for free as long as you have the post office. So the game's very cute. It has a very cute little theme. We'll get to more of the cards as soon as we go into the game. Let me tell you one more thing. There's a limit as far as cards go. You can have exactly 15 cards in your tableau total. That's all you can have. You cannot play a card unless you can remove a card, basically. So same thing with your hand. You have a hand limit of 8, like I already started with 5. Once you're at 8, you can do nothing that will allow you to extend your hand limit. So one of the things about the game we'll get into is there's a lot of, and we'll go back to the main game board, there's a lot of little rules in the game that that can be easily translated incorrectly. So they made this really nice index in the back of the rule book to explain a lot of the little rules that are easy to misunderstand or timing issues. But really, I had to actually really explore an FAQ this morning to kind of hit all of the ones that are discovered right now with how the synergies work. So let me explain how the action spaces work, and we'll go right into the game. So as you mentioned before, you can take your worker and take the action. So generally, this is berries and a card, berries and a card. Now whenever it says draw a card, it's talking about draw a card from the tree. You never literally draw cards from the meadow. You play cards from the meadow, with a few exceptions of cards that tell you to draw from the meadow. There's also these spaces here. That's how you get pebbles. It's the rarest thing to get in the game. You can get a victory point, 2 cards. You see there's a lot of little things on here we'll show as we go. But I want to mention something. It's very hard to see, I believe, even for me, but some of the spaces have a completely enclosed paw with a circle all the way around it. Others have a half enclosed paw. If it has a half enclosed paw, multiple workers can be placed in the same spot. But if it has a fully enclosed paw, only one worker can go there no matter what. Now, that's interesting because when we look at some of the cards, these are called forest cards. They're their own action spaces that are basically were randomly dealt at the beginning of the game. They have a closed paw spot to take them. Now, if we're playing a 4-player game, I do need to explain this because this is important for 4-player play. If I take one of these spots, I am not allowed to take the second one with my other worker. The only time you can ever in the game take the same action with two of the same workers is if you control a card that does that in your tableau, or actually that's actually it. That's the only time you can ever do it.
No,
I found out. No, the FAQ. I just read it. So even the Epic Journey or the
no, I was
only
saying the
available
open
in autumn.
ones, shouldn't they?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. That's what I meant to
open.
say. That's what I meant to say. You're right. So the small piece, the ones that are closed on the same card, I can never do this at all. I can only place multiple on spaces where there's an open paw.
Right.
So that even goes for here. This open. This is a journey. This is a journey where you can only use in autumn. This is your last season. You discard cards to gain victory points. But once I place a guy on the 5, I can't come back and place a guy on the 4. I can go and place one on the 2 because the 2 is open, is an open paw, right? So generally, let me just cover the overall what the little pieces mean, and we'll get into the game. This is I can collect anytime you see a basket. It means any resource type. So I can collect any 2 of any resources. This is 2 resin and a twig. This is 2 cards in any one resource. Berries and cards. pebbles right here. Cards and money, cards and points, basically. Resin, card, twigs and cards and twigs. Very, very, very straightforward game. So you might notice sometimes we're going to end up doing things like this, and stuff's going to roll off the table because Starling Game made a beautiful game, but rolling components are not the easiest to keep up with. So let's see. Is there anything else I haven't covered as far as setup? I guess we'll
that sounds about right. All right, so we have the personality cam right up the top.
Great.
Sorry if we're a little dark this time. Unfortunately, everything's shiny on this game. And so when setting up lights, we noticed that we were blinding you guys with the light setup that made it where it looked great on us.
I know the glare was huge. It says, what do you feel about the components?
The component-wise, this game is awesome. I mean, look at these nice resin and wooden pieces.
Yeah, this is really nice.
The card stock is nice.
Yep.
Your workers are nice.
This isn't even the collector's edition.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I mean this is just the regular Kickstarter one.
The only downside to it is because it's all this nice card stock. It's like you see there. It's really. I'm sorry, that's really dark, but
that's the problem. Right?
Yeah, that's the problem. They're very shiny.
Yep.
So we're gonna be a little dark on your screen today.
Yep.
So don't worry about that. I know. Don't tell me.
It's fine.
But here we go. We're going to dive right into the game.
So we're going to play over the course of 4 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
When we're done, when we're ready to change seasons, spring gives us a chance to use all our green cards again, the harvest cards, and we'll get an extra worker. Summer, when we go to summer, we get an extra worker and we get to take 2 cards out of the meadow for ourselves. And in autumn, we'll get 2 workers and we'll do one more harvest. So whatever the case, let me start since I'm the first player. So I'm going to show my hand to the set over here. So what we're looking at with regard to my hand is I'm really looking for, I don't have any resources. You don't start with any resources in the game. So I need things that are relatively cheap that produce goods. Well, excuse me. So the storehouse is an interesting one in that it creates goods pretty easily, but there's a more interesting one to me that's easier to play. It's called the farm. Farms will give you berries, which lets you play critters. It costs 2 twigs and 1 resin. So let's go for the farm first. There's also a lot of cards out here in the middle of the table. But I want to get something easily going right now. So I'm going to go ahead and play my farm, excuse me, by taking a worker and placing it here on the 2 resin and 1 twig space. So I'll get 2 resin, which I'll put over here in my tableau area, and 1 twig, and that's my whole action. Yay. Your turn.
All right. So, as you know, we can also play from the meadow.
That's right.
And I'm going to take a look at that because my cards I'm not too excited about.
So really this game's all, and you take your turn, really this game's all about, can we see the top, us in the top?
Yeah, hold on.
Great. Because we don't need to see the tree anymore. The tree did its job. It made us come to the, it attracted us to the game. It's a marketing tool, right? So while Mark takes his turn, I'm going to explain a few things. So this game's all about finding synergies in the cards. Having the farm actually synergizes perfectly with the wife, who can be played for free if I have the farm in play, which she's out here. She's a victory point card. But there's other cards in the game that trigger off each other as well. So it's really just a matter of finding those cards. So I'll go through a few of them that are out here while Margaret decides on his turn. We've got 2 minor moles, which allow you to copy in the player's harvest effect, which is pretty cool, especially once I play a farm, he might be able to play a minor mole and copy it. There's another storehouse out here, so since it's a common construction, I could play mine and play the one from the table. So if I really wanted to prevent Marco from getting it, I could take it myself. There's a doctor out here as well, where I can pay berries and gain victory points for paying berries during every harvest. So a bunch of farms and a doctor could go really well because the farms can create a bunch of berries. The doctor uses those berries to make victory points. The chip sweep actually allows me to activate another spot in my city. So another harvest space in my city. So there's a lot of really neat little things out here that you can do.
Right.
And have you decided what you want to do?
Yes, I'm going to do the same action.
Oh, you can't because it's on the 4-player only.
Oh, okay.
I have now exclusively taken that action.
He's a bastard.
It was the best one on the table.
All right, so then I'm going to take this one, which gives me 2 of anything.
Great. Okay. 2 of any resource he wants. Now, pebbles are the most rare resource, so if you need pebbles for anything, you got to get them early.
Yeah, I'm going to get these 2.
Okay, so you've closed that space off. Now, what I need right now is I need more wood to be able to play my farm, right? So I've got 1 worker left, and there is 1 spot for 3 wood, so I'm going to go and grab it. So here's the 3 wood I've got, and now I've got a total of 4 wood and 2 resin. That is definitely enough to play my farm next turn, but my turn's over. So you see, it's a micro action turn where you're taking a single action, taking something, and then either playing, and then of course on other turns playing cards. So you don't have these really complex plays where you're like, I'm going to take this and then play this card, which triggers this card. It just doesn't happen. But when you do play cards, usually they have an effect that happens immediately, and sometimes will trigger other cards. So that can make the turns a little bit longer once we start playing cards.
Right.
But.
And so I'm going to do this: draw 2 and get any.
Okay, so he takes 2 cards from the top. Now he started the game with 6 cards. So he's allowed to do that to go up to 8. Now, if he had 7 cards and places space on the draw 2, he can still go there, but he's only allowed to draw 1 card. He can never have more than 8 for any reason, and you get to get 1 resource of your choice. So he's
all right.
While he looks at his cards, I'm going to explain what I'm going to do.
I'm going to take a twig.
Great.
All right.
All good. All right. So I really want to play this farm. So if we can go to the Tableau cam, I'm going to show how it works.
Let me go over there.
So I'm going to go ahead and play my farm. There it is, right there. It's going to cost 2 of the twigs. 1 of the resin. They're going to go back into the general supply, and it's going to immediately gain 1 berry for me, which I'll be using soon. But that is my only action. There's no other triggers, so it's your turn.
All right. So now I'm going to go.
You don't need that wife, right? So the wife's out here, and I'm going to show it over. If we've still got this.
Yeah, still got that.
All right. The wife says, as long as I have a farm, I can play her for free. Now here she gets a cool effect. She's a common critter. Okay. She's worth 3 points if paired with a husband. So, so basically, I've got this little, and she's known she's a purple card. That's the victory point cards. So I think what I have to do is can I play her first and then add the husband later? That's actually a question I don't know. I played this a million times. I never went the wife-husband strategy. So I will look that up while Marco does his turn. But just know that is the card I am seeking. Great. Like I said before, and we can get off this camera and go back to the top camera. And on us.
I was just told you were quieter, so I'm going to speak quieter. So.
Oh.
You're quieter than me.
Oh, I am?
Yes.
That's not normal.
No.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Great. Do I need to adjust my volume at all?
I'm adjusting it here.
Okay, great. We're
and
good.
I will speak softer.
You're
in
fine.
a soft, mellow voice.
Oh, yes. We are in an enchanted forest here.
Yes.
So
because I can't be as excited as I normally am. See, this is one of the things I'm having trouble with the game is Bryn locked up some really great spots.
I did.
Which prevented me from really getting much of any resource.
That's right.
And a lot of the cost here are kind of expensive. I mean, I guess I could play the general store right here because I have the resources for it, which is a stone and a wood. And I will gain a berry. And that's my action.
Okay, great. So, so yeah, you play the wife and husband together. So my next play is going to be, I'm actually going to play this wife for free because I have a farm. So she's going to take a spot on my 15 card slot. Now, if I get a husband, I can immediately play the husband with the wife to trigger other effects. But right now, she does nothing except give me victory points at the end of the game. So, so that's it for my action. It's back to you.
All right. And now...
as soon as we play a card from the meta, a new one comes out, and the new card coming out is called Ruins. Ruins says, discard a construction, remember there's only 2 types of cards, critter and construction, from your city, gain resources equal to that construction's cost, and then draw 2 cards. So it can be really nice for getting rid of old buildings that you no longer have a use for that aren't creating you a lot of points. You actually get the resources back, which is nice. So,
all right, honestly, I am going to have to pass.
All right.
So
he's actually ending his, he's preparing for the next season, which is spring. So he's going to get to, first of all, get his worker, which he just got. He takes all the workers back that were on the board, and now he gets to harvest the card that he did before, which is gain 1 berry. Oh, the general store. If you have a farm, ooh, that would have been nice for me because I got a farm already.
Yep.
Okay, great. So it's back to me then. Okay, so I really want to play this chip sweep, but I need berries. I have no more workers. I have no cards that I can play at all, with the exception of maybe the post office, which says this. Give an opponent 2 cards, then discard any number of cards and draw up to your hand limit. So it's a good hand reset. I could technically take, I don't have the resin for that. It's 2 resin and 1. So I'm going to also have to pass and basically end my prepare for next season as well. So here's my worker back. Here are my 2 workers here, and I immediately get to trigger my farm, which gives me another berry. And that is it for me. So.
All right. So I'm actually on the next phase.
Yeah. So in this game, what can happen is you can end up with some players in later seasons than other players. And what that means is some players playing the game can finish the game, I don't want to say long before, but it can be minutes and minutes. It can be 10 minutes before other players finish the game. So some players find that a little bit awkward. I think it's interesting in that I'm not having, because normally what would happen in a game like this is I have to sit and wait for him to finish, or he have to sit and wait for me to finish my phase. So cool.
Right, so I took my action.
Excellent. Okay. So as we see, I really wanted to play this chip sweep because I can activate my farm again, plus other things. Except it costs three. It costs 3 berries. I've only got 2. So I'm looking at what's out there right now, and there's another chip sweep in play. You know, I wouldn't mind having multiple of them. They are common. So with that being the case, I'm going to go ahead and take. Man, the only things out here are the single berries. So I'm going to go ahead and take the 2 of any. I will grab a berry, and I will grab a pebble. I'm always grabbing pebbles because they're just the most useful.
They are
construction resource component in the game. So, all right, but I have the berries needed to do the other. So,
all right, now I am going to do.
So I'm trying to figure out how the storehouse works, because normally those things, the storehouse is special in that it has a harvest symbol on it, so it would trigger during the harvest, but it also has an action space on it. So again, nice little index here to look things up. Right. There's a ton of cards in this game, a ton. That you wouldn't see them all in one game. That's the thing about it. So even though I've played this now 3 times now in preparation for today, I haven't seen all the cards. So the storehouse says, when played and during the production, take from the supply and place either 3 twigs, 2 resin, 1 pebble, or 2 berries in this card. Also works as a location to place a worker and take all the resources of the card. Okay, so that's what it does. So during the harvest phase, it gets the resources that are there, and then in following phases, you can put a worker on there to collect them all. Okay. So it looked like a pretty good card, and I was wondering why it was there. So, okay, so did you finish?
Yeah, I did. I went and took a stone.
Oh, okay, nice, and that's nice and easy. Well, what I'm going to do is the storehouse is pretty cool. I'm actually going to take it. So I'm going to take the card from the table. I'm going to play it into my tableau. It's going to cost me 1 of each of these awesome resources: stone, resin, and pebbles. And I'm immediately going to trigger its effect, which adds either 3, 2, 1, or 2 of the different resource types. So I'm looking at my cards here. I'm going to need some more resin. You know, resin's a pretty important thing for me for the different cards that I have. There's not a great source. Actually, there is a card with 2 sources of resin out there. So let's see here. Let me just go ahead and add 2 resin onto it so I can be out of the way with that. So that's going to go right here on the storehouse card. Now notice this doesn't have the open symbol. So because it doesn't have open, I'm the only one that can take that space. So that's just something to consider. So a new card comes out into the meadow. It is the Historian. Love the Historian. So the Historian is a pretty cool little worker. He lets you draw a card after you play any critter or construction. Now that does not include himself. I had to look that up, but I found out it does not include himself. But in all future plays of buildings, you can draw a card. So he's a fantastic one to get out if you can. Okay, and I have the 3 berries to do it. So
I don't want to hear about your berries. All right, I'm going to use my 1 stone to build a crane.
All right. So the crane's a pretty good item in that.
Right.
In that the crane is it's worth 1 point, but he can use it to actually build other things cheaper. Right? How much cheaper?
It's -3 resources.
-3 resources. We can play some big things that are out here very easily. All right. So there is when did the postal pigeon? That's been out there forever, yes. Right? Okay. He's already taken the 2 resin, one twig slot. I can go and take the 2 resin from there, but I think I'll wait because that's mine no matter when I want it. So it will just keep gaining resources. All right, so in that case, I'm going to go ahead and play this chip sweep. It'll cost me all 3 of my berries to do it, but I'll do it. So 3 berries are gone. The chip sweep goes into play, and I can immediately activate 1 production building in my city. How about I activate that, and I will get on there. More stone is never a bad thing. I will probably put a stone on it, and we'll see how that goes. So I'll put a stone on it, which allows me to do that as well. Great. That's my turn.
All right, so going back to the gameplay and us.
Okay.
We need to draw a meta card.
Yep. This is the Innkeeper. It's a unique critter, one of the first unique critters we've seen. It says when playing a critter, you can discard the Innkeeper from your city to decrease the cost by 3 berries.
Now, he doesn't cost anything if I have the inn?
If you have the inn, he's free.
All right.
You got an inn to play?
I am going to play an inn.
Awesome.
From the crane, which is just basically going to remove the card.
Okay,
And
cool.
this is going to go into discard.
All discards go right here in the middle, right under the middle. Now, if you ever run out of cards in this game, you will reshuffle the card and put it back in.
Right.
Now, the only reason he might have wanted to keep the crane is it has the little blue symbol, which is tied to the city monument, which is one of the events. If you can get 3 of the little blue symbol cards in your tableau, you can get it. But he had a reason to want to play the end, so.
Right.
All right. So you're golden.
Golden.
I have one wood. I really wouldn't mind getting another chip sweep down, which costs more berries. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of spaces that give you berries, are there? So I'm going to go ahead and take this really cool spot here that says 2 cards in any one resource. So let me grab 2 cards here and any one resource. Let's grab a berry because I need more berries, okay, to play more critters. All right, so that's it for my
I'm
turn.
going to now play from the meadow, play the innkeeper.
Playing the innkeeper for free, which lets him play other, like the doctor would be a lot way cheap for you, right?
Yep.
And another minor mole. Oh boy, lots of minor moles.
So as you can see, this game goes by really quick. Turns are very fast. You know, that's the great thing about micro worker placement action.
Yeah, micro actions, yeah, for sure. For sure. All right, great. Well, I've got a twig barge that will create sticks for me.
All right,
It
let me
costs
go to detail.
a stick and a stone. Unfortunately,
May break my bone.
yeah, you were on the only place in the game that actually creates stone.
Yes.
There's no place else because it's all been taken. Now I can't end my season because I still have a worker. That's the rule.
Right.
You can stop playing cards, but you can't end your season till you play your worker. So let me see here if there's anything else that I can play easily. That would be a great card to play. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to my own storehouse, take that action, and I gain everything that's on it, which is just fine for me. So that is my action. It's back to you.
All right.
So now I've got what I need to play my little twig barge. So,
All right. So now I'm looking here, and
so while he makes a decision, let me explain something else about the game. It's kind of cool. So if we back on my tableau, I actually have 3 of the harvest symbols. 1, 2, 3. The twig barge will create a 4th one. Once I have a 4th one, I may be able to actually pick up this secret event right here. It doesn't have anything printed on it, but I know because of what's printed on the board that it's the Harvest Festival, and as long as I have 4 of that card, I can place a worker on there and take 3 points at the end of the game. So I actually get to keep that, and it's mine. Now, even though it has a worker space on it, it's mainly meant for claiming it. You can't just keep taking it to get points. So just be aware that that's a thing. So that's what I'm going for. So also while he makes the decisions, I'm going to explain some of these cards up here. So I'm going to pull this one down because it's actually, this one probably is the most relevant to Marco, so I'm going to show this one here. So this is how the special events work. I'm going to move this card up so you can get a really good shot of this one. It says it's Peddler and General Store. What that means is you have to have those 2 cards in your tableau. Now, Marco's already got the General Store. He just needs the Peddler. What it allows him to do is take a worker, place it on it when it's up here still on the tree to claim it, just like the other event. You claim it with a worker. By doing so, it says when achieved, meaning you've met the requirements and you put the worker there, you may place up to 3 resources there. For each berry and twig combination you place, you get 1 victory point for it, and for each resin stone combination, it's probably or, not together. So for each, it's or. For each berry or twig, it's 1 point. For each resin or stone, it's 2 points. So potentially worth 6 points if you can drop a bunch of resin or stone on it. You'll never get it back, but it's points at the end of the game. Actually, a lot of the little special events work that way. They have a cost. You pay for them to actually score their points.
right. All right.
Great.
So I have decided what I'm doing.
Okay, great.
So if you see here, it's another inn. I'm gonna take my worker on this open action.
The inn is a common construction,
It says play a critter or construction from the meadow for 3 fewer
resources. Yep.
So I can instantly play this.
Yep. So he's got a nice inn thing going there. That's great. I've already used my worker. I would have used it myself.
There's a post office that just came out.
Post office, excellent. And right next to the postal pigeon.
Yep.
Great. So I'm going to go ahead on my last turn, and I just gave it away. This is my last turn. I'm going to play the twig barge. It's going to cost me this stone and this stick, so they both go away. But it does create 2 sticks for me, they're twigs in this game. So 2 twigs. And that is my round, so I'm done.
All right.
Back to
So
you.
now it's my turn, and I am going to, since I saw the post office just opened up, I'm going to buy the post office.
Oh, there it goes, post office. It costs 2 resin and one twig, and it allows him to give me cards, but then to exchange his entire hand for something new. More importantly, it lets you play the postal pigeon, which lets you reveal 2 cards from the deck. You get to play one of them for free as long as it's 3 points or less.
Right.
So you can't play like the king or queen that way, or the doctor, but you can play other really good cards that way. And look, another historian. Wow. If only I had more twig. If only I had more berries. All right, so I have no. Even though I have these really cool resources that are here, let me go and show you my tableau. What can I play? I can't play the another storekeeper because I don't have the twig. I don't have the stone. I could potentially play the post office. I'm not terribly excited by the card based on the strategy I've been going for, so I'm going to pass on that one. As far as what's out there, pretty much everything out there is berries only. So I am going to go ahead and end my season. Now that lets me take a worker from summer. I go ahead and get all my workers back, including this one here. Now summer doesn't have a harvest phase, so I won't get to produce on all my green stuff. Get the workers back, but but importantly, I get to take 2 cards from the meadow that are now going to be mine. So based on what he's got out there, a general store would be not bad. So I'm going to take a minor mole, and I'm going to go ahead and take a historian, because these 2 guys, actually, you know what? The doctor, nope, I'm not producing enough berries. Minor mole and historian. So these two guys here. The reason I'm taking them is because the historian lets me draw cards whenever I play critters or constructions, which is just great. And the minor mole let me copy his general store, which will get me more berries. So these go into my hand. Wait, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm still good on card count, and that is the end of my turn.
All right.
Ooh, a courthouse came out, and a wife came out. So very cool. We need to get some husbands out. So cool. I want to mention that the post office is tied to another card that's up here, a special goal. So you're in a good shape to get that one as well. You need a shopkeeper to go with it, which is this cute little rabbit that makes berries.
So I'm going to play this for free.
Play the postal pigeon for free. Can't argue with that move.
All right, and now it says reveal 2 cards.
Okay.
So where do I reveal them? From my hand?
You reveal cards from actually, let's read that. I think it's reveal 2 cards from the deck. But, and what's it called? Postal pigeon?
Yes.
There's a lot of cards in this game, I'm telling you. But it's not, again, they have a very nice little index here in the back to show it. So P for postal pigeon.
Soren, this is not the deluxe edition. This is the base game.
When played, reveal 2 cards from the deck. You may immediately play one of these cards worth up to 3 points for free. Discard the other. So that's a different solo. By the way, this has a solo game too that apparently people have liked. I have not played it myself, so I can't speak to it. But there's choices, and so I can look at the card he's looking at because he's going to discard one.
Because I don't have a farm.
But you get to play one of them for free. Oh, he got my husband.
Yes.
He got my husband. Yes.
I got your husband.
He got my husband. So both the cards he has trigger off a farm. Boy, I could have used either one of them. Boy, if I could have just drawn those first. So in the 3 and 4 player games, the cards rotate a lot faster, right? So you can see there's a little bit of staleness with regards to the cards that are out here. I mean, even the doctor's still out there, even though he's a really good card. The wife is usually a really good card.
All right, so here's the question. Mm-hmm. If I play this now, can I play the wife on top of him later?
You can.
Or do I have to play him?
No, he just has to be paired with a husband. That's all.
Okay, so.
You don't have to have a farm to do it. The farm creates the extra effect.
All right, so that's what I'm going to do.
Great.
This is going to come out.
Okay. So new card, the monk. Oh, the monk's pretty cool. You can give berries to your opponents to gain points for them, which is to gain victory points, and you can do that every time there's a harvest phase. Which for us, there's going to be one more harvest phase in the game. So okay, great. So for me, I've got to get berries. So to do that, I'm going to go here. It seems like such a weird move considering what I've got, but I need 2 berries. See, in other games I've played, based on how I've played, I've been swimming in like berries, so I never have a problem.
I don't want to hear you swimming in berries.
But this game is not like that. Right now, I'm looking at these saying everything I need takes everything out here takes berries. So
yes.
Okay, great.
All right, so
so this really cool courthouse came out. Courthouse says gain 1 twig, 1 resin, or 1 stone after you play a construction. So it's a great way to like.
So I'm picking up.
Okay. Oh, so he ended his season. Okay. So,
right, so I get to draw 2 cards.
Great.
I'm gonna draw the courthouse.
Oh, there goes the courthouse.
And the wife.
I was just talking about the courthouse. Okay. Well, new cards come out then. The first one's going to be another ruins card. Next one's going to be a theater. Now, theater is a purple card, so it's for victory points. It says you get 3 points for the card and then 1 point for each unique critter in your city. So that's not my city. I don't have any unique critters in mine. So that theater doesn't scale well with the points that I'm going to be getting. But playing a story might be really useful. So how many... So it looks like he's not yet in a position to take that goal from me. So I'm going to use this to take just a whole bunch more resources. I don't know if it's really something I want, but it gets me more resources that I might use for more card playing. And back to your turn.
All right, so again, I am looking at the board.
Mm-hmm.
you know, I can play the wife right now if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Because it's a nice little bonus to have them. Because again, we only have 15 spots available.
Yeah.
So to be able to play 2 cards on the same spot is nice.
Yes. No, you're right.
So I'm going to play my 2 berries.
That's great. We're already actually through 3 of the seasons. There's only 1 season left after this one, so yeah. So we're going. This game moves pretty quick. Even with 4 players, it's not that long.
Right.
You know, it might be 90 minutes at most. Okay, so back to me. All right. Well, I'm going to play this really cool. I think I'm going to do that. Actually, I think I'll wait just a moment for that. I will go ahead and take this worker and get 3 twigs. Now you might be like, "Wow, you've already got twigs." Well, let me tell you why I'm taking more. I have a really cool card called the Woodcarver. Remember how I mentioned the Woodcarver goes along with the storehouse? So what he does is it says I can play up to 3. I can pay up to 3 twigs whenever there's a harvest to gain 1 point each. So potentially I have 6 twigs here. So that's a lot of points I can get off this 1 card if I play it, and it's free for me because I've got the storehouse. So great. Back to you.
All right. So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 7 cards in my hand. So
I'm looking here, and there's not really much I want to do.
the doctor's so cool, but who has that many berries?
I
Same
don't
thing
need.
with a monk.
I don't need that many berries.
They produce a ton of points for you if you have berries, but you just don't have that many.
All right. So
Well, there's only 1 stone spot left in the game, so do you want to get the
I'm
stone?
gonna do this.
Okay. 2 cards in any resource?
Actually,
that's better than the stone. That's
yeah.
better than the stone. That's
So
yeah,
2
sorry.
cards and a stone.
Yes. Okay. Back to me. Okay, I'm going to play the Historian. I was telling you about this card a moment ago. I'm going to go ahead and place it up here. It's going to cost... Look, see, the resources are rolling. They're rolling. Okay. It's going to cost 2 berries for the Historian when I play the Historian. Now, after each critter or construction I play, I get to draw a card, which is nice. I'm about to play some more, and that's my turn.
All right. Now, Bryn, I do need to let you know, you can speak louder. My voice just carries.
I don't know what...
You don't need to match my volume. I have to speak loud.
Yeah,
So
but I'm actually talking pretty loud here.
he thinks he is.
You know, I wonder if it's just I didn't position my mic correctly, because I'm looking at like the way the little sound bars go. It seems like I'm going to the top.
Yeah, you go to the top when you get the loudest.
All right, so we're gonna talk like this.
Yes, Bryn is, because if you see mine, me just talking this soft goes all
All
the
right,
way up
so
there.
where's mine on there? Oh, it's doing it now, right?
Yeah.
I'll do my best to be louder. Okay.
Sorry about that.
All right.
We just have to test levels. I feel like I'm whispering. Hi, how's it going? This
What if
feels
they're trolling you?
this feels
What if they
kinda
actually just
creepy.
don't want to hear you?
Maybe that's it.
All right.
I feel like the creepy uncle.
Whoa. All right.
All right. So this creepy uncle is gonna play a card. Yes.
Okay.
Actually, what I need to do.
That's weird. I need more berries. That's all I can say. It's like this
Okay,
constant
so-
pursuit of berries.
What happens to the card?
Mhm.
Because my hand's at 8 right now.
Your hand's at 8. So what are you gonna do? Oh, you don't even get to draw it.
Okay.
You don't even get to take it.
Well, I just need this.
2 twigs. Okay. I'm glad I took the 3 twigs then. Okay. So we're gonna play the Woodcarver for free because he's gonna live in my storehouse. So I'm gonna play him right above the storehouse. You don't have to do that. I'm just doing it for my own use. I'm gonna play this to show that it's occupied. So now I'm gonna take his effect. It says you may pay up to 3 twigs, which I'm gonna do. 3 twigs are gone to gain 1 point each, and the game actually has a little victory point tokens. So I've got 3 victory points.
Thank
right
you,
here in
Bryn,
my
for
tableau.
adding your twigs into my.
Oh my
to
gosh!
my
They
twigs.
rolled. They rolled.
No, you put them into my twig pile.
Oh, that's your twig pile? I didn't see that. All right, so so I played this. Now after I'm done, it says afterwards I trigger the card draw. Here's why that matters. The berries themselves. There's a card that gives you berries. I can't use this card in the middle of taking this stuff. So you completely finish the card's effect. Then afterwards, then you get this. So for instance, there's a card called Shopkeeper, which gives you a berry when you play a critter, and like the monk uses berries, so you don't actually get it immediately. You have to finish the full monk card, then you use the berry. That's important because the timing can be a little off. But let me go ahead and draw a card now, and I'll show what that is. I got another wife. So many wives, no husbands. So
That's
all
right.
All right, we're done. Go ahead.
All right, I can actually talk normally now. I lowered my mic.
Oh, that was a good idea.
Yeah, so.
All right, great.
So now I feel like
back-
I'm normal.
Are we back to here?
Yes, we're back
Okay,
on the
great.
board.
Awesome.
All right, so what I'm going to do since I picked up those twigs is I am going to play the clock tower.
I'm going to raise my mic if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to pay 3 twigs and a stone. And it says when played, played 3 experience here.
Okay, let's try that. Seems better. I
Yeah.
think. Okay, good.
All right. At the beginning of the preparing for season, you may pay 1 from here to activate one of the basic or forest locations where you have a worker.
The clock
deployed.
tower is fantastic. Marco just got it. So it lets you 3 times per game use a victory point chip that's on it. Now, if you don't use victory point chips, you keep them, but you can use it at each change of season, which there's 1 left, to take an action that he already took this round that's on the board. So that would allow you to take, for instance, 2 more cards in a thing, or take 2, or
Right.
take that. Pretty good, pretty good. I had that last game. It was very good.
Right.
And with the clock tower, you can play the historian for free.
Right.
Pretty good. All right, back to me. All right, I need more berries. Again, the constant pursuit of berries is very real in this game.
The struggle is real.
Yeah, I've got 1 guy left. I'm looking to see which ones he's qualifying for. He's nowhere near getting the Harvest Festival thing that I need. So I'm going to be seeing if there's any other way I can get some berries into the game. Card draws. So the big thing I can do is I can take an action and take this Haven action. We've never shown this one, but here it is. You can discard any number of cards from your hand. For every 2 discard, you gain 1 of any resource. So I'm going to go ahead and take that action. Now it's an open, so we can all go to it multiple times. And I don't think I'm ever going to use the storehouse again, as cool as it is. The Miner Mole I definitely still want because it's you. The Chip Sweep, oh man, I love the Chip Sweep. It's pretty cool. And I'll get rid of these. So I'm getting rid of these 4 cards. They're gone. And I get to get 2 resources of my choice. I'm going to get 2 berries. And that is my action. Your turn.
All right. So
I'm down to 2 cards. Okay.
I'm gonna go and pick up the historian.
Okay, great.
Draw 1 after you play a critter or construction.
That's right. Draw a card, and it does not include himself.
Right.
But you've got it now. He's free. And a new card comes out into the meadow, and it's going to be
A farm.
a farm.
I finally need that card.
I love farms. Farms are great. Okay, so it's back to me. I've got the 3 berries I need. So here's the trick. If I use the Miner Mole, I make him. I can copy his general store action, which gives me not only a berry, but a second one because I have a farm. So this is basically a 2-berry play. But if I play the Chip Sweep, I can copy an action in my own city, which could be the storehouse, which could be a 2-berry play. So I think what I'm going to do is play the Chip Sweep instead. Yes, I've got multiple, but they're common, so I can use them. So I'll go ahead and pay the 3 berries. I now have a Chip Sweep. I can activate 1 thing in my city. I'm going to activate the storehouse to put 2 more berries on it. And now it activates the historian, which lets me draw a card. So my card now is the Fool. Ooh, this is exciting. So let me show you the Fool. The Fool says he costs 3 to put down. He needs a Fairgrounds if you want to play him for free. Play this Fool onto an enemy space, onto an empty space in an opponent's city. So it takes one of those precious 15 slots, and it's -2 victory points. So it's kind of mean. There are ways to get rid of the cards in the game, and we're back to the main game board here.
All right.
Great. And it's your turn.
All right. So now that it's back to my turn, what I'm gonna do is play this farm with the inn. So it's gonna cost me nothing.
Okay.
And why did I take your piece?
You took my piece.
All right. So I'll gain 1 berry.
That's really good for your general store.
All right.
That's
So
excellent.
general store and the husband.
Oh, that's right. You're doing really well. I still need a husband. Okay. All right. So here's where I'm at. I have no berries to play cards. I have a bunch. I'm going to save the sticks because I'm about to use them for the wood carver when I change over season. So basically, I've got 4 resin, which, if you're looking at the board with me, does nothing for me.
Right.
So I'm going to end my turn. And I'm going to end my phase. So I'm going to get all my guys back. They're all coming back to me now. And with all these guys coming back, I also get 2 more workers. And finally, I get to trigger all of my effects. So there's a bunch to trigger here. So first of all, I'm going to gain 2 sticks. 2 sticks are gained. Now I'm going to gain a berry from the farm. Now I'm going to get to pay 3 sticks. 1, 2, 3, to get 3 victory points. Okay. Now I'm going to use my chip sweeps to activate. Oh, I get to activate this. So I'm going to activate the general store. I'm going to put stone on it. Boy, there's just nothing with stone. It's all people. Here we go. 2 berries on it. Okay, great. Berries are there. Now I'm going to activate the chip sweep to activate the storehouse, which I'm going to add. You'll guess it. 2 berries. And then finally, I'm going to use this chip sweep to activate the storehouse, which adds 2 more berries. So I am buried up, and that was my action. So I'm in the final season of the game, and Marco's lagging behind in the season beforehand.
Yes, I am.
He's still got a worker, so he's definitely not changing over this time.
All right. So what are these events up here?
All right, so the events up here, You need the Judge or Queen, Shopkeep Post Office, Monastery Wanderer, and the Wanderer, just no, that's the Ranger, never mind. And that one's the Peddler General Store. So if you want to take one down and look at it, feel free to do so. I'm looking at my game. I might want to play the Fool on you, I'm not sure. I play the Fool. That's kind of funny, actually.
All right, so what I'm going to do here is I am going to waste up this Innkeeper
Okay.
to pick up the Miner Mole.
Okay. So you're going to copy some effects on mine.
It says, when playing a critter, you may discard the Innkeeper from your city to decrease the cost by 3.
Okay.
So.
Great. That's easy enough. So the Innkeeper is now discarded. Okay. That was a nice cheap Miner Mole for you. And that's your action, right?
Yep.
So new card comes out in the meadow. It's going to be the Chapel. Okay. It's a unique construction. It says place 1 coin on this chapel, then draw 2 cards for every coin in the chapel. So when you take the action. So so it keeps getting better and more cards. It's kind of late for it, but it is 2 victory points. It might be a reason for that. So before I lose the opportunity to take it, I'm going to go ahead and take my action and play it on the Harvest Festival, which I can claim because I have at least 4 harvest buildings. So that's placed and that's my turn. I've now got, actually before I do that, there's some actual valuable resource bases that are out here I should probably take first. So I've got tons of resin wood. I'm going to go ahead and go here and take 2 pebbles because who knows, maybe there'll be a chance to actually use them.
Right.
And that's my turn. So I took, it was the NE2 space, which is really nice. Okay, back to you.
All right, back to me is,
So while he looks, I'm going to show you one more thing. So there's this card, there's a space called the Journey, and it allows you to score a lot of victory points actually, but it's only open in autumn. So I have access to it first. It's kind of a reward. Now I can take this first space for 5 points, but I would need to discard 5 cards from my hand. So I am going to be looking for an opportunity to get more cards in my hand sooner than later, and there's a perfect spot for that right here to draw 2 cards.
so I have a question about the Ranger.
Sure.
The Ranger, it says here, move one of your deployed workers to a new location.
Uh-huh.
What does that mean? What's a new location?
Okay, so this is a deployed worker right here.
Oh,
you can move
okay.
it to a new place. Okay.
So, just so you guys know, that's what it says.
Yep, and you get to it 1 time, so it's great.
All right.
It also, if you have a dungeon, it unlocks the 2nd dungeon slot. There's a dungeon in this game. This is like a little cute little game, and you can like put your critters in dungeons.
All right, I'm going to play this for free, the Innkeeper.
Oh man, that's nice. Pretty good little, oh, you can't play it for free.
I have 2 wins.
Oh, okay. Did you ever occupy them? Remember to put the occupy token when you play them for free. That's required. So you've now done this twice now, right?
Yeah, this is the 2nd time.
Okay, good. You're good on that. That's good. Okay, great. Because you can't use because the Innkeeper is a cool card that leaves play, so you would think you just keep playing them, but the occupy tokens are there so that you only use that free effect 1 time.
Except for I have 2 wins, so.
Then you could do it. Yeah, you're fine with that. Okay, so I need cards to be able to discard cards. It's kind of important. I've got a lot of berries sitting out there for me. Let me go ahead and grab. What is the easiest way for me to get cards? There's 2 cards and a victory point for a total of 5 victory points. Maybe that's not worth it for me right now, but it probably is. Like this is a good space. Let's go ahead and go there and see what my options are going to be. So I'm going to get a victory point for going there. I'm also going to get to draw 2 cards, and that is my turn.
All right, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the Innkeeper with the Ranger.
Okay. So now he's got the Ranger in play, which lets him immediately do the thing.
Move this.
Mm-hmm. And now he moved himself for his worker over to the 2 resin and 1 twig, which got him that. Is it back to me?
Yep.
Let's do some more cards. So I get 2 cards and a resource of my choice. So let me see what I've got here. Wow, really? Okay, so berries again. So I'm going to take a berry.
Oh, sorry, this was supposed to fill out.
Oh yeah, fill that up there. An Architect, unique critter, 1 point for each of your unused resin and stone to a maximum of 6. Hey, he might turn out really well for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6 cards. That's good. We're not going to get to trigger that again. So I got a cool card called the King. I'll show you this over here.
Let me move it.
I don't know if there's more than 1 in the game. I think there's only 1. It's a unique critter. You get 1 point for each event you've achieved, and I've achieved no events yet because I haven't taken it yet. And then 2 points for each special event I achieved, and he's worth 4 points on his own. But he has 6 berries. There's a ton of berries, but we'll see. I might play him. I may not. He's kind of expensive. But he has 4 points. He's really the only one I care about playing in my hand. So, all right. Back to you. So for me, the rest of the game for me is I'm going to at least play 1 guy to take those berries, right? So I can have a whole bunch of berries to play critters with.
I was supposed to draw a card.
I'm going to take Were you?
With the historian.
Okay, sure. Go ahead and draw your cards. Fine.
Sorry.
I'm going to take one of these to claim the Harvest Festival. Makes sense, right? And I'm going to claim one of these to go on the long journey. I pretty much, my last 3 workers are set. We need to be back on this one here.
Right.
Yeah. And with us in the picture. Yeah. So pretty much my last 3 are set. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do again. I'm taking this guy. I'm going to claim the Harvest Festival. Taking this guy, sending him on a journey. That's 8 points between those 2 cards. And my final guy is going to collect all the berries on my storehouse to be able to play a bunch of critters, which my hand is full of. I have a hand full of critters. That would normally not be a good thing. But in this game, it's great. Mark was like, how do I win this game? He's got so many more cards down than I do. I think he's got me in points, just on cards. I'm going to try to maximize on some of the things that are out here. So, like the Doctor would be a good play for me because he lets me discard up to 3 berries for 3 more points, which would be kind of cool in my situation since I have a ton of berries. I kind of wish I hadn't taken the stones, but I got them for diversity.
You play those stones.
So I can play something like the Chapel or something because it costs a stone. I have nothing in my hand that costs stone. And the theaters do nothing for me because I have no unique constructions. So, yay.
So I'm going to play the Chapel.
Okay.
For 3 less.
You're gonna buy the Chapel with the inn, right? See, the inn space that he's on, I could have been using that space as well because remember it was an open, and I could have been using it to build things as well. I just haven't been because, well.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
It's hard to remember that there's cards in other people's tableaus you can play. So while that's interesting, it is you have to remember that it's there. Okay, so a husband came out. That is exactly a card that I need right now.
Yes.
Okay, but I have one huge problem. I am 1 berry short of taking it. So what I'm going to do is see if there's anything on his spaces that allow me to get it. There isn't. My only choice is to hope that he doesn't take it, which I think he already has a husband, I think.
I do.
Okay, he's already got one, so he needs more. He's got a wife. I'm going to go ahead and go to the storehouse and get all these berries from the storehouse, which there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 8. Wow. Just take all these out of the storehouse and move them into my rolling components. Gotta say, not a fan. But they're cute. All right, they're little rubber berries. Pretty good. All right, so that's it for me. I did my action.
All right. I don't know if I have any more actions left.
Yeah, he's not even done with the season yet.
Yeah.
he's still in summer, and I'm almost done with autumn. So this is pretty cool, right? Nothing else, huh? Well, I finally got the husband I needed to pair with the wife, so that's gonna be very nice. And he gives me a resource if I have at least a wife paired with him and a farm in my city when I put him down. So this is gonna be a really nice play for me. Probably to take more berries, since that seems to be what's out there right now. So the architect could also be really good points for me since I don't plan on using those resources. So that's a 6-point card there. Now you're doing all the point calculations, looking at how many you have.
So I can't play anything else.
2, 3.
It looks like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up 2,
7, leave me 3.
5, 6.
4 there, cool, okay.
All right, and now my effects will start to go off. So if you count my effects, it is gain 1 berry. If you have a farm, gain an additional berry. So that's 2.
2 berries from that.
All right, so here's my berries.
Okay.
All right, next one is copying opponents.
You get to copy something of mine. You want to copy my farm for another berry?
Do you have a general store?
I don't. I have gain 2 twigs, copy berry. This lets you activate 1 in your own city. So he can copy my chip sweep, which lets him activate something in his own city.
Which is
which lets you, if you general store again or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay,
so I'll
cool.
get 2 more.
Okay, 2 more berries for that. See, it's they trigger off each other. Okay.
All right, next one is the husband.
Husband?
Which I'll get anything.
You have a farm. Oh, he's not paired with a wife yet.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, he is. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, you definitely want to show that.
All right, so let's get the berry.
Okay.
Oh, no. It doesn't give me. Or no,
yeah,
it does.
Yeah, the farm gives you a berry.
Okay.
The husband gives you any resources of your choice as long as he's paired with a wife and has a farm.
Right, which pebble seems to be the rarest thing.
It's like, as long as the rosary bead is on the chicken.
That's right. So, yeah, that's all of mine.
So you did all your stuff.
All
Okay,
right.
great.
Oh, wait. No, then there's this. When played, place 3 here.
Oh, that's right.
Remove
a token, and he gets to retake an action that he was on before he removed his people.
All right.
It actually says do that at the beginning of the phase. So you were here at least. Where else were you?
Actually, I think that's the one I would want to do.
Okay, cool. 2 resin and a twig. Great. Okay, back to me. So I know that the next turn he can discard cards and take one of the journeys. So I'm going to go ahead and do that first. I'm going to discard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like these 5 cards are going to go away. For that, for 5 points, I'm going to take. Actually, the 5 they just stay there because I never get this guy back. So he shows that I get the 5 points. That's all he does. Okay, it's back to your turn.
All right. So now I have a lot of ingredients here.
Lots of potential things to do. So what's funny is there's a lot of mines and farms in the game. We have seen 0 mines, and that is one of the criticisms I do have for the game is that it's a huge deck, but you don't scale it down with player count. So the diversity of the cards that come out can be very, very stifling. Basically, if you gotta play with what's on the table, which is fine, but there's a huge cool setup of diversity within the deck itself that you can do that just doesn't exist now that I'm playing 2-player. All the other times I've played it has been a 4-player game. So,
all right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this action.
Okay. So he knows also that he can do this whenever he wants, this journey, because I've already taken the best one. I can't play it again.
Right.
Except in the area where I get 2 points, which is free for all. And he already knows I want to collect the Harvest Festival space anyway.
So I'm going to discard 4 cards.
Okay.
Here we go.
Great.
And I'll get to get 2
resources of your choice?
Right.
Okay. So while he decides it's 2 resources, I'm going to do a really easy move. And I'm going to go ahead and take this Harvest Festival here to claim that. And that is my last worker. From now, it's just about me playing cards with the resources I have left.
I'll make 2 stone.
Okay, great.
All right, so that's your turn?
Yeah, and so you took yours, getting your stuff. I just took mine. It's back to you.
All right, so I am now going to play the Shepherd with the Chapel.
All right, the Shepherd. So the Chapel makes the Shepherd free. And what does he do?
All right, gain 3 berries.
Gain 3 berries.
Then gain 1 victory point for every victory point that's on the Chapel.
Okay, which is 0 right now. Not bad. Okay. He's a one-time effect, right? He's done. Okay. He's not. That's not a bad card at all. He basically pays for himself.
Yes.
Okay, but he's a victory point. Okay. So back to me. All right, so I'm just playing cards at this point. So for me right now, the Architect is a really good card. He's 4 berries deep. And he's going to cost me, he's going to give me 8 points. So I'm going to go ahead and, because he gives you 1 point for each, I'll show it over here. He gives you 1 point for each unused resin or stone to a maximum of 6. I have exactly 6 unused resin and stone. So I'm going to go ahead and play him. He's going to cost me 4 berries. So here goes 4. They're all gone. 4 are gone, and I'm done. Back to you. Oh, card comes out, and it's a ranger, another ranger. He's a unique critter, so Marco's not going to take him.
Right.
Yeah, he's there. Okay.
So I am going to play the Fairgrounds.
Fairgrounds, which is what lets you play the Fool.
Right.
And it's going to cost you 2 resin and 2 resin, a stick, and a stone.
Yep.
Okay. My daughter's over.
All right, and that allows me to draw 2 cards.
Getting my spouse's attention. It's great. 2 cards. Yeah, the Fairgrounds, 2 cards. All right, back to me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I've been waiting on it. I'm going to play the Husband. He's going to cost me 3 berries. 1, 2, 3. Berries are gone. I'll pair him with the wife, which is great. He's finally with the wife. Now, because I have the farm, he says he can gain 1 resource if paired for wife, and you have at least 1 farm in your city. So he can get a resource for free for me.
Right.
Let me go ahead and grab a berry, because 4 berries are good. I'm done. There's the shopkeeper,
All right, and
which goes with the post office.
And I'm going to play him.
Shopkeeper lets you gain, every time you play a critter, you get to gain a card. Oh, you know what I get to do? Historian, when I played my Architect, I get to draw a card. And when I played my Husband, I do get to draw a card.
All right.
I forgot about that.
I get to draw 2 cards too.
Yep. These are cool cards, but I'm not going to play them because they're not as cool as keeping the victory points.
So as you can see, there are times when you will forget.
Yeah, it's just kind of the... We're also teaching, you know,
Right.
heavens.
So what is that event up there?
What event? Where? What?
All right, so we're looking at this one right here.
Okay, cool.
This one says, when achieved, you give opponents up to...
3 resources, and for each donation, gain 2 victory points. Yeah.
All right.
Pretty good.
So it's like, do I want to give Bryn stuff so he can fill out?
Yeah, please do. I like that. It's funny.
All right, so...
Back to me?
Yep.
Okay, well, I'm I actually picked up a cemetery. I don't have any workers left, but it's really cool. It's a deconstruction. What you do is you reveal 4 cards from either the deck or the discard pile and play 1 for free. It can be anything. Discard the others. It takes a worker to do it, and if you have a Undertaker, it'll open up a second slot. The thing about it is when you put a worker there, it's permanent. The worker is there forever. Now here's the thing: even if you have something that gets rid of this card, right? Your worker's still out of the game basically. So just be aware that that's how that functions. So anyway, I got these. Let's go with. So I'm trying to decide. The doctor is 4 berries, and I can spend up to 3, but that'll cost me all the berries for points. But he's a 4-point card for basically 4 berries, and I have no other berries to play. The other option I have is to play the monk, which costs me 1 berry, and then I can give up to 2 for 4 points. So that would actually save me a berry. So let's do that. I'm gonna play a monk. He's gonna cost 1 berry. And when he comes into play, he gets the harvest effect, which I can give up to 2 berries to opponents. Here, opponents.
Thank you for berries.
All right, and I'm gonna get 4 points from doing that.
What he doesn't realize is that
bad. And I get to draw a card.
Oh,
that's all right. I'll take this one. It's better anyway. Just kidding. All right, I'm done.
So, what if I were to play the ruins? As you guys can see right here, the ruins. It says discard a construction from your city.
Yep.
What happens?
Well,
Does this replace?
Oh right. Well, you have to have a building slot first.
Okay, you have to have a building slot.
Building slot first. So Marco's in a situation you can't see his tableau because we've been focusing on mine, which actually ended up being a mistake.
Technically can.
You can see his over there, yeah. But he's got 15. He's already 15 full, right? So he needs something that removes from his area, and I don't think he has anything that removes.
Nope.
So he's done playing cards. You have lots of workers to get points, though, right?
Nope.
Nope. So a mistake that you made in this game definitely is filling up your tableau before you're ready to, or before you can play cards that remove things from the tableau. So, I mean, the ruins, all it does is it replaces an existing one, but it doesn't actually open a space for you because the ruins still have to sit in that space.
All right. So I'm going to take a look at this again. Again.
Yeah, if you can get events, that'd be great for him because those don't take slots at all. So I've got 1 berry left, and there's just not much I can do with it. I'm about to end my whole game.
All right. So thinking about what I'm going to do here is, I am going to. Is this post office?
Go ahead.
And I'm going to give you 2 cards.
Okay. Give me 2 cards. I like 2 cards. All right, so I'm looking as the ruins do get rid of construction, and I've got a common construction here that's a twig barge. It would give me another stick and another stone to play basically nothing.
Here you go.
But it's there. Okay. So
and
this is for me.
And I am going to discard up to the hand limit.
Okay. Great. Okay. Fun stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 cards now. Now, if I couldn't take the cards, he would be required to give them to another player who could. So when it requires you to give cards away, you can't just choose the player that's already got a hand of 8 and give him all the cards and make him discard them. You have to give them to players that are legal. If nobody's legal, then you just discard the cards that you would have given to a player.
All right.
So that's how that works. So little rules.
So it's your turn?
It's back to me. All right, all I can do is use, I want to save the 6 here, so really all I've got is 2 twigs and a berry, and there's nothing out here that uses that. I could take a ruins and destroy one of my buildings to potentially get more resources to do, again, basically nothing with. I'm looking here, can I play the lookout? No?
Yeah, Muhammad, this game is a visually very, very attractive game.
Yep. And with no more workers, I'm gonna end my season.
Yeah, and as you can see, there's a nice big. I'm gonna move us out of the way. There's a nice big tree over here.
That's right, big old tree.
So I'm gonna start taking these actions.
I'm done. So since I'm done with the game, he can still potentially give me victory points for actions he takes. I don't think I have any that he can do because I don't have any open spaces he could take. But what I'm trying to say is that I'm done. Like it's just now Marco taking the rest of his turns.
I'm also gonna take this.
So he's just boom, 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 boom. He grabbed all the monuments. You want the king too? You had needed the king.
I had the queen. I had the queen.
You had the queen.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I'm gonna play this.
Okay.
Because you're done. You've passed.
I'm
right?
done, man. It's just you. Just you.
All right.
You want to send a guy on a journey?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
So here's 3.
Okay.
So I'll get.
I get 3 berries. See, this was
And I'll get
strategic. So I'm out of the game. I can't use all the awesome berries.
I'll
he's
get
been
6
giving me.
points for that. 2 for
Woo,
each.
That's nice.
Discard 4.
2 for each berry, so 4 points. Was it a monk? What did you do? How did you give me berries? Oh, you took that. You took the special thing. So when he takes it, he gets actually take it down. It comes to him. So here you go.
All right.
Okay, great.
And then here is 4 cards.
4 cards. Oh, to take the journey.
Yep.
Okay. And is that it for you? He's now played all his workers. So.
It is. Yep.
All right, it's victory point calculation time.
All right, so here we go.
That's straightforward. So we're going to count in the game. We're going to count our buildings as they are, our points as they are, our goals that we've achieved as they are, the journey, and then finally any bonus points from purple cards that come out. I've only got 1 purple card, but all right. So I'm going to get my calculator out and count,
All
and
right.
you just give us 1 second.
So if you want to point out everything, show them as you
I sure will.
calculate.
Oh, we got my tableau up. Great.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 17.
All right. No, Muhammad, as you can see, this is how we're doing it.
Yeah, 17 points here, just like that. Okay, great. So now I'm going to go and look at how many points I actually have taken. I've got 3, 3, 3, and 2. So that's 9. That's 11 more points there. Okay, so we're 28. I've got 3 from a goal I completed, from an event I completed. And I get 5 on the table here because of my journey. Now I've got 36. Now all I'm going to get points from now is through purple cards. So the wife, because she's paired with a husband, she's worth 3 more points. So I'll take 3 more points for that, 39. And the architect is 1 point for every unused stone and resin, which I have 6. So that's 6 more points there, for a grand total for me of 45 points.
All right.
And that's all I got.
All right, and so with his 45, Muhammad, yeah, there is no scoreboard, unfortunately, and this is one of the things I don't like about this game, too.
Oh, yeah?
Is that there is no way I can just...
No score pad, huh?
Right. So
Yeah.
let's see, that is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Tell me and I'll calculate.
9, 10, 11, 12,
Uh-huh.
13, 14, 15. Do these count?
Yes, they do count, yeah.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
24 already.
All right. Then there's these 2.
Okay, so 2 events for 6.
Yep.
And how much actual points?
All right, and that's 10.
10 from those. Journey.
All right, 4.
He's at 44. He hasn't got his purple points yet.
And then the wife, 3.
So 47 to my 45.
Yep.
Wow, was that close?
Yep.
Not bad. All right. So this was Everdell, and this was a full walkthrough of the game. Let's give you some of our thoughts on it. Why don't you go first?
So, Bryn, if you want to back up a little bit so you're in frame.
Sure. I'll back it up.
Yeah.
All right.
We're going to go casual here a little bit. So my thoughts on Everdell. This is a beautiful game. You know, the tree is nice. You know, that you actually have a 3D modeling, type of thing on the board.
That's pretty, yeah.
It's pretty. It's nice. I like the presentation of this game. But that's where it stops, in my opinion. And this is, again, mine.
Yeah,
opinion.
this is your opinion. Go
You
for
know,
it.
and I have debated others about this. The issue I have with this game is this runs into the same issue I have with Seasons, where you can have an experienced player versus a new player, where the experienced player knows the synergies that are built with the cards, and so they have kind of expectations, and they holdouts on like stuff like this, like the queen or the king.
Yeah, looking for the synergistic cards.
Right, they're really maximized on points. So the set of play between the experience and a newbie is going to be a vastly different experience from the game, and it could ruin a game because that's how Seasons was ruined for me.
So you're saying play now while everyone else is still new to everybody.
So, and if you're going to introduce people to this game, don't use the synergies to your advantage.
Don't use them, but understand that you have an unfair advantage, which exists in lots of games.
So that's my biggest issue with this game. Secondly, we didn't even go through half of the deck.
No, actually, we did only play 2 players in defense of the game, but why do we have this many unseen cards? Am I jumping into just a little bit here, but
no,
same thing.
Go ahead.
There's lots of duplication, which is great, because you can make some great synergy. The problem is with 2 players, they don't cycle enough, because they only come out when you draw. They only come out when you take from here when you're playing cards. Well, the most we're ever going to play together is, 15? I mean, you're going to have a hand of 8, but basically, 2-player game, you're not going to see nearly enough cards. And it can really cramp some of the most fun elements of the game for me are the synergies, and it can really shut them down.
Right.
I mean, by points last night, I was in the 70s. And it's not that I played more cards in a 4-player game. It's that you got to see more things come out and create better synergies.
Right, and I think, a quick fix for that would be, these cards that have actually multiple sets of them, in a 2-player game, only have like a limited number of each of those sets. So that way you're getting more variety. And then as you are increasing level number, have like here it say 3-player only.
Yeah, I mean,
or 3 and 4.
The reason I think they didn't do that, it makes sense too, is that there's a lot of cards in this game. There'd be a ton to go through to pull out 2 and 3, but I do think it would have improved the experience.
Right.
So yeah.
That's something we both agree on.
Yes.
Other than that,
4-player is basically 4-player count is great.
Right.
3-player count's okay. 2 is lacking to me.
Right. And, and there are variants. I know Thomas has spoken about this for those who are on
Thomas Covert.
Right.
Okay.
Board Game Revolution.
Yeah.
About a potential variant that you guys can try out. We didn't do it here. We wanted to show you how the game is fully played.
Yes, for sure.
But the other thing I have an issue with is if you remember the board, these little
open spaces.
Quarter moon or 3/4 moon.
Yeah.
You have here.
Yeah.
Make it more visible.
Yeah, I mean, they tried to integrate the art and the game style play together. And trust me, as a designer and as a publisher, you love that when you can integrate the art and the design together as one thing. But it is more challenging to tell what's a single action space and what's a multiple action space.
So they can see it.
Yeah, so what's a single and what's a multiple is challenging to tell. It can easily get covered by rolling twigs or cards that get shoved up on it, so there's some challenges as far as that goes.
Right.
But
before we go back to that other cam, I'm gonna do something real quick.
Sure.
So if you want to start talking about showing on the board.
Oh, goodbye, camera.
There we go.
Okay, great.
All right, so Bryn.
Okay, yeah.
Go ahead.
You want my thoughts on it?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not a bad game. I mean, we talked about some of the failings of the game or things that we didn't like as much. I'll put it that way. But there's some really fun synergies that exist in the cards if you can see the cards come out. The goals are always unique. I love the modularity of the action spaces. Even though there's some rules as far as like timing order of operations, they're not terrible at all. I mean, the index is written very well to know what to do, in weird situations. And I referenced it several times, and we got the answer right there. So that's done really well. But there's still something about the game that's missing for me. It doesn't make it one of my favorites. It doesn't make sense. I usually enjoy worker placement games. I love tableau builders, but there's something I don't know what it is. I can't tell you exactly what it is that's putting me off to it.
I would say this,
but it's a decent game,
right? Yeah. It is a decent game.
Yeah.
Would I play it again? Yes.
Yeah, I played it again as well. I mean, yeah.
But only if there was nothing else to play. In my opinion, that's what it comes down to.
Nothing that you desire, like no
right.
higher end game. Okay, that makes sense.
If it's just something, we need a quick 4-player party game. I mean, group game. Yes, let's bring it out because this, as you saw, these turns are quick. Yeah. There is no more just idly sitting.
I wouldn't call it party.
Waiting.
It is a 90-minute game.
Right.
It's definitely a solid 90, especially if you're playing with players to win. Yeah.
But the turns are quick. They happen really fast. You're not waiting on others to go to the next season,
except when you finish the game.
Yes.
I'm kidding. Yes, but yes, you're not waiting on others to finish their round before you play a game.
So I think that's
the strength of the game.
That's a really good bonus for this game. But yeah, I mean you're right because it's a tableau building, worker placement, deck management.
Yeah, hand management. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
There's a lot of things that they put all into one. And it doesn't feel like it's fully fleshed. I'm going to say that's what it feels like to me.
Okay. And like I said, I can't put my finger on it exactly. I can't find anything structurally wrong with the game at all. And I did enjoy playing it. Each time I've played it, this is probably the least enjoyable time I've had playing it. And it's because of the 2-player, because of the cards didn't move as much. But I've enjoyed the 4-player times I've played it. So yeah, either way. Do I recommend it as far as the game goes? Yeah, I mean, you should play it. It's beautiful. Yes. It's fun. The aesthetics really add to the experience of the game. But in the end, yeah, I'm wondering if maybe an expansion or something else that could be added to it that would really kind of elevate it more. I don't exactly know what that is, whether it be a hand draft at the beginning of the game, so I have more of a strategies that I'm setting up for. It does feel a bit random as far, it may be a little swingy as far as what cards come out and when they come out and when I have access to them. But I love to be able to plan. Yeah. You know what? That's what it is. I'm a strategy player. I love to be able to plan. and I don't get to plan enough in this game. A little bit, but not a whole lot.
Yeah, I'm with you. You know, I would play it again. You know, it's not a horrible game. It's not a bad game. You know, it is fun. I'm just gonna say I'm with Bryn. It needs work somewhere, and possibly. And you know how you were saying that these cards, it's too much to print 3 and 4.
Something like that, yeah.
Just have it in the book, like, hey, this is what's in the deck.
Oh, how many are in the deck? Oh,
Right.
Okay, I can see that.
You know, let's see if someone can make a variant like that and see how it plays. You know, especially when
Wouldn't be a
two-player.
change I'd make to it, but we're different people.
Right.
We can disagree.
But for beginners, I think you'll enjoy this. It's really easy to pick up, learn. But if you're playing with experienced players, be careful.
Yep.
That's my warning. Anyway, this has been Everdell. Next week, what are we going to be doing?
Next week, we are taking a break next week because I am running Tabletop Artisans Workshop. It's a big 3-day game design event in Dallas at Dallas Games Marathon. So, and that's going to run over Sunday. So I will not be available to do a playthrough for you. But we'll pick it up with a week right after that. And we haven't decided the game yet. So if you've got some ideas, we'd love to hear them. If we can get a copy of Root, we'll play it. We know that's in right now. But it's been a challenging game to pick up right now. So.
And we got a response from Jenna real quick.
Okay, great.
Welcome back, Jenna.
Hey.
Thank you for watching the video.
Thank you very much.
She says that she's playing this game Thursday for the first time, and there was something about it, something about the video that held me back from liking it.
Okay.
Or actually, she said kicking it.
Kicking. Okay.
All right.
Oh, about the video. Yeah.
So good to hear. She maybe made the right choice.
But you might have. You might really like it. Like I said, I don't think I'd own it myself, but I'm not against playing it. Like, it's fun. I mean, I've had fun with it. So.
Right.
Yeah.
And so for next week, since he's going to be at Tabletop Artisans, we're going to be taking a break. We're going to come back. Also, we have Shifting Realms that we're coming back with.
Shifting Realms. That's right.
We're coming back with brand new from Soaring Rhino. It's a great 2 to 4 player game. I've really enjoyed it. I got to play it with Tom and I can't remember.
You get to play with the designers.
Yeah,
right?
I actually got to play with the
That's
designers,
awesome.
and their enthusiasm I've really enjoyed, and maybe that made it more fun for me.
They're not local, are they?
I know they're not.
Okay, dang, I love to have them on the show.
So we're going to be playing that coming soon, and we're going to also have new discussions coming up, and we may have some new announcements. So look out onto our notes in our Facebook page because we have made new announcements for you on how we're expanding.
That's right. Well, we love that you're here with us.
Yep.
And this has been It's Your Turn. Have a great day.
Thank you guys so much. Have a great day.